We know NoCo. From Town Square Media, this is Tuned Into NoCo. I'm Ashlee Meehleis. All right, next up on Tuned Into NoCo, we have Mandy Mullen. She's the owner of Run Windsor and the race director of the upcoming Santa Catch 5K, 10K, and Free Kids Fun Run. So first off, Mandy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. We're excited to share this event coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great having you on the show. To start, why don't you tell our listeners about Santa Catch?
Yeah, so I have such a special place in my heart for Santa Catch. When I started Run Windsor back in 2017, in 2018, Santa Catch was one of the first races that I directed. And it's how I really fell in love with the power of bringing our community together through running while giving back to local nonprofits. So this is, I can't even count the years now, and COVID was a weird year, but we've been putting this race on since 2018. And it's an incredible 5K, 10K, and a Free Kids Fun Run. The proceeds from this race have always gone back to Adopt a Family through Serve 6-8. So your registration costs help us cover the cost of the race. Plus, we take a great donation and we actually go shopping locally at Knowledge Bound in Windsor and then take those gifts to Adopt a Family through Serve 6-8. And for those of you that don't know what Serve 6-8 is, they serve thousands of families in need across northern Colorado every year.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, you mentioned there's a 5K, 10K, and a Free Kids Fun Run. Can you tell us a little bit more about these races?
Yeah, so we chose a new course this year, a new start and end location. We'll be at Power to Play in Windsor, and the 5K and 10K course are going to run through the Highland Meadows neighborhood. And the Kids Fun Run is a little less than 1 mile, and it is free, but kids this year are getting finisher medals because it's Christmas time and we're feeling a little giving. We also have Santa at the race this year. So families are encouraged to come and participate in the walk or the run, let their kiddos run for free, and then have visits and photos with Santa.
Yeah, and this is all going to be happening at Power to Play in Windsor. Their address is 5699 Crooked Stick Drive.
It is, yep. And our 5K and 10K races are professionally timed, so participants are going to get race bibs. They'll also get this year's really awesome knit Santa Catch beanie.
Oh, cool.
And a medal at the end. So we're really excited to have a full experience. We also have Human Bean of Northern Colorado donating hot chocolate and coffee. So we'll have a fun hot chocolate bar, coffee. We've got food trucks there, Hopper's Donuts, Barbecue Love Shack. I-9 Sports will be there representing, as well as Windermere Real Estate. And then we also have free beer afterwards for all of our participants at Mighty River Brewing, which is about a quarter mile from the race start and finish. So our families and our participants can just walk right on over to Mighty River after and grab their free beer.
And you mentioned that all the proceeds are going to benefit Adopt a Family. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And for those who don't know, Adopt a Family is a nonprofit that serves thousands of families in northern Colorado in need. Mandy, is there a certain number you guys hope to raise for Adopt a Family?
Yes. Last year, we donated about $4,000 worth of gifts. This year, we want to double that. So there is an option when registrants go to our page to register for the race. Obviously, a portion of their race entry fees are going to go back towards Adopt a Family, but there's also a way that they can donate directly on the website. So if we have someone that has not yet done their charitable giving for the year, and you want to help our cause, you can do that directly through the race website. Okay. And what I love most about the way that we give through this race is we know that those dollars stay super local, even the purchasing of the gifts. And so, like I mentioned last year, we went into Knowledge Bound. The owner, Ginger, even offered us a 25% discount off of all of the toys that we bought, just so we could spread that dollar even further. So another plug here, if you haven't done your Christmas shopping yet, Knowledge Bound is an incredible supporter of this event, our ability to give back, and they have really great quality toys. So think local before you get online and do your shopping this year.
You guys heard that. Sign up for the Santa Catch 5K, 10K, and Free Kids Fun Run. All proceeds are going towards families in need right here in Colorado. Along with the race, there will be music, food, awards, a hot cocoa bar, and free visits with Santa. To sign up, you can head to santacatchrace.com. That's santacatchrace.com. Now, I know you said that this isn't your first year doing the event. How did last year go?
Last year was great. We had almost 600 runners between our 5K, 10K, and kids. And it was 9 degrees out. And I think we had a 95% attendance rate. So we've got some real troopers in Windsor, and we're hoping to meet or beat that number of runners this year. And the weather's looking beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think an important thing to know too, the Run Windsor race series isn't really built to be super competitive. And while we do have some incredible athletes come and run with us and show some remarkable splits and times at our races, they're really focused on the family. And we encourage everyone of any ability to come out and join us. So we'll often have people out there even just walking the 5K. Running is totally acceptable. So there's no judgment. There are no time limits at our races. We really just welcome everyone to get together for the benefit of the entire community.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a blast. Now, for runners who would like to sign up, but have never run a race before, what would you tell them? How should they prepare?
So layers are important. I'm actually coaching a few people right now who are running for the first time in the winter. And it's important not to layer up with a bunch of cotton. So you want poly blend materials, just moisture wicking running clothes. And you also want to have layers because while it might be really cold when you start running, either for the race or in your training, you're going to warm up really fast. And so being able to have layers like a zip up jacket or a raincoat to take off when you warm up is important. Same thing with making sure that you've got coverings for your ears and your fingers. I am a big fan of tall wool running socks. And I think just for people to know, like, even when it's cold, it's so important that we continue our exercise routine and really move through these winter months. Another way you can get involved is we have a free virtual challenge right now called Move Through the Darkness. And so a lot of our Santa Catch participants have been using that free challenge to kind of train for this race. So if you can learn more about this on the Run Windsor website, but movethrough.org is the link to that free challenge. So if someone, let's say, financially is restricted from running a race or that weekend doesn't work for you, you can join us on this virtual challenge as well.
Oh, cool. Now for Move Through the Darkness, are the proceeds going to Adopt a Family as well or somewhere else?
It's not, it's different. So Move Through the Darkness is hosted by our nonprofit Windsor Gives in collaboration with Imagine Zero of Weld County. Imagine Zero is a suicide prevention coalition. And so Run Windsor has joined in on this as well. And it's basically an opportunity for anyone to run or walk between 50 miles up to 400 miles, either individually or as a team, from December 1st through the end of January. And the goal is that we directly impact suicide, depression, anxiety, and, these things that happen to us in the winter months. We face shorter days, colder days, directly impacts people getting out and moving. It directly impacts our mood and our behavioral and mental health. So we're really excited to offer this challenge for free. And the best part is at the end of the challenge, once you've completed your miles, again, either as a team or individually, you're going to get a quality long sleeve finisher shirt with the logo. And it says, "I moved through the darkness." And also throughout the challenge, we have professional content from a lot of community collaborators. So we have videos right now that our population that have signed up for this challenge are getting. So videos from Windsor Yoga Family on breath work and how to reduce anxiety through breathing, basic exercise techniques on how to get your body moving from refuge physiotherapy. We'll have a clinician from North Range talking about the direct correlation between physical movement and our mental and emotional health. You'll hear from us, running coaches, talking about the basics of how to start running and walking. So way more videos. We're going to keep everyone engaged, empowered. We have about 400 people signed up right now from mostly Northern Colorado, but all over the United States. And so it's not too late to sign up. No barrier. I even have my kiddos joined in on a team and they're helping us get our miles in. And the great thing about the team part is we've got some teams of 10 signed up and each team member is only obligated to 4 miles a week. And that can be in one go. You can break it up to even half a mile a day. So this is really completely accessible to everybody of all levels. And we really want to really directly impact the health of our community this holiday season.
Well, that's pretty cool. All right. For our listeners, you heard that. Along with the Santa Catch 5K, 10K, and Free Kids Fun Run, they are putting on a Move Through the Darkness virtual run, and you can walk or run. If you would like more information, you can head to movethrough.org. That's movethrough.org. So you guys are super busy this month, huh?
We're kind of always busy. So the Run Windsor Race Series puts on 7 events annually. And those are our timed professional events. And with this new, with Windsor Gives, which I'm on the board for, we're doing a lot more in that running world, but it's more giving back to the community and eliminating the barriers. So we're just really promoting access, education, and opportunities for people to move their bodies and seek out the health benefits of movement.
Yeah, I think it's super great. Now, with all of these events going on, do you guys need volunteers?
Always. If you're in the race world, you know that these are only made possible by our incredible volunteers. Our team works really, really hard, before, during, and after the race. But on race day, we need about 12 to 20 more people per race to make it all happen.
Okay.
And they're really fun. I like to say that I believe there's no place more fun than the finish line of a race, because you get to be a part of that energy and the celebration and the hugs and the smiles of people who've accomplished something amazing. And so to volunteer, you could reach out directly to us through runwindsorco.com, or on each race website, there's always a link specifically for volunteers. So if you go to santacatchrace.com, you'll click on the volunteer link there, and it'll tell you what volunteer slots we have available, what the job description is, how many people we're looking for, and what the time slots are.
Oh, perfect. Everybody definitely reach out and volunteer for the Santa Catch 5K, 10K, and Free Kids Fun Run. Now let's kind of switch gears here. How did you get involved with Run Windsor? What's your story?
Yeah, I would love to share that. So I started Run Windsor in 2017 with another mom, and we started it as a women's only run group. I moved to Windsor, and we were still a really quiet, sleepy community, and there wasn't a running organization or a structured run group that I could find. And furthermore, I felt I was, I had a stay-at-home mom to 2 little boys at the time, and I knew firsthand the importance of support and community if you're a runner, and whether you're trying to further your running journey or just get going, or, pick it up after you took a break to have babies and, get into domestic life, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And so we started up this run group and became certified run coaches, so that while we provided group runs and encouragement and support and the social aspect, we could also write running training plans for our runners. And it was amazing. We kind of grew just season after season, and it continued to evolve, where we would also invite in, professionals from kind of related areas to interact with our runners. So for example, we'd go to Runner's Roost and have, girls shopping night and try on sports bras and running shoes and hear from professionals on that level. We would also have seminars where we'd hear from a registered dietitian speak specifically to the needs of a female runner, all the way to physical therapy and chiropractic care. So it was incredible. I'm still so close with so many of these runners that we started with run all of our races today, which is great. It really, really has that community feel and continues to grow. And in 2018, the town of Windsor so graciously offered to let us take over 2 5Ks that they put on annually. So the winter race, at the time, I think it was called the Sweaty Sweater. And they also had a 4 Paws Fun Run in July. And Parks and Rec just saw our passion and the community we had for running and offered us to take over those races. And I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what it meant to be a race director, but I knew I loved running. I understood runners. I'm a runner myself, and that I have a background in marketing. And so my then partner and I had a new partner at this time join in. And so Meadow and I decided, let's do this. Let's start putting on these races. And after the first one, I just knew it was what I was born to do. It was so energy filling, and I loved the outcome and seeing people come together and running and walking together.
Yeah.
And it just continued to evolve. I'm a yes person. And so it went from 2 races a year to 3 to 4. And, in 2020, we had to take a little bit of a break from a few of our races, but we're always so proud to tell people that we held Windsor's first half marathon ever, sanctioned, professionally timed half marathon in October of 2020. And so I think there's probably some listeners who were there and remember that crazy day where you had to wear masks and stand on an X, and you couldn't hang out at the after party for much longer than 15 minutes. We had to clear the park out as fast as we could and, start everybody in waves. But it really showed the resilience of our community and the running community. And for that race that year, we had people fly in from 15 different states.
No way.
Because they wanted to run and there weren't many races happening. But the cool thing that came out of that is since then, we get people from out of state for every single Run Windsor race. Oh. And so we really are putting Windsor on the map. And today, I think we're at 42 states that have flown here to run our races. So
wow, that's amazing.
We've got a few more to cross off the list, but we're really proud that it's really helping the economic impact. And that when runners come here to run from out of state, they're not just here for a day. They're here for 3 or 4 days. They're bringing their family and friends with them. They're staying in our hotels, shopping and eating locally here and boosting our local economy. So we really want to keep that going. And with your help and the help of our runners and our sponsors, we can do that.
Definitely.
And and so now, coming out of COVID, I'm like powered through, we're going to keep going with this. And so since then, we are wrapping up our 7th race of the year is the Santa Catch. So we will have done 7 races this year. So now it's just me. I do have another partner, Sean, who helps me a lot with these races. And then we have an incredible team that help us, kind of prep that week and finish everything. But it's a really small operation. There's only a couple of us, and but we love what we do. And next year we'll keep that same exact schedule of 7 local races. Plus, we're taking on 2 overnight relay races that have been happening in Colorado for the past 20 years.
Wow.
So again, my running community might know this. It's the Wild West Relay at the Flaming Foliage Relay. So for those that like to go on adventure races overnight and run all across Colorado, we've got that coming your way as well.
Wow. Well, we are certainly glad you are doing what you're doing. You are definitely affecting our community in a positive way. Now, as someone who has been involved in these races over the past few years, how have you seen it impact the people in our community?
I think my favorite stories come from our kiddos. And that's really kind of where the nonprofit Windsor Gives came up too, because we were invited in to, help with putting on races for Special Olympics or fun runs at our schools, and even just at our races. By offering free kids fun runs, we see families show up and kids love running, and they love it when you make it exciting for them and you share that passion, right? It's not a punishment. You make them realize it can be fun, exciting. There's music and it's upbeat, and they get a medal at the end, and they might get to wear a race bib. And what's been so cool since 2018 is to watch some of these kiddos who've signed up for our free kids fun run. That's, maybe a mile. Sometimes it's a half a mile, depending on our course and where we're at. But now to see them show up, race after race, and some of them are graduating to 5Ks and to 10Ks. And we have a whole group of 8-year-olds that are running 10Ks.
No way. Wow.
Which is amazing. I mean, I never thought about running 6 miles when I was 8 years old, but to see this group of kiddos do that, it's blowing our minds. And, we in this society, I think parents are so great about getting their kids signed up to do basketball and football, but it's all about the kiddos, right? Mom and dad are shuffling kids to their sports, and it doesn't really always involve the whole family. And what we've seen with running is these little kiddos that we're getting into it, they're getting mom and dad or big brother and big sister or grandma and grandpa, whoever it is in their life, to go out and run with them.
Wow.
And we, my favorite story is we put on a free kids fun run at Windsor Charter Academy last year. And so we brought the whole Run Windsor experience, the arch and the music and the energy to this fun run. And the kids soaked it up. They had a blast, but we had one mama out there and she ran the whole time with her kiddo and 15 minutes. And afterwards she came up and she was like, I've never run that long in my life. And she's like, but I just did it with my kid. And I realized wow, I can do it. And she asked me, how many miles do you think it was? I'm like, well, depending on your pace, anywhere from 1 to 1.5 to 2 miles, depending on how fast you guys are running.
Yeah. And
she was blown away. She's like, so you think I could run a 5K or a 10K? I'm like, absolutely. So now today she runs all the Run Windsor races.
Wow.
She just ran her first 10K. And so we really see that impact of, creating a healthier community, whether it's from mom and dad downward or it's from kiddo up. But it's that whole experience and really a focus of not just doing this for competitive reasons or even physical alone. It's taking care of our whole well-being, which is why we're so passionate about the partnerships we have with North Range Behavioral Health and Imagine Zero and really all of our sponsors. I think coming out of COVID, before it was put on a race for a good cause, we're making ourselves better physically, all good. And I owned a gym during COVID too. And so coming out of that, I recognized how wrecked our community was on all levels of a health perspective. And while I'm not a mental health professional, we can be a connector and we can make sure that our community has resources to be stronger and healthier and resilient on all levels. And so even now, Run Windsor is just this well-rounded health initiative. So even our sponsors, like we have High Point Financial Group, they're a title sponsor for next year. And when I introduce High Point to our community, it's not just about financial planning and financial services. It's digging deeper and it's talking about the health of our finances directly impacts the health of our minds and our bodies. Even this time of year, how many families go out and overspend at Christmas time because they feel the need to purchase and purchase.
Right.
And then what does that do for our emotion and our stress and the health of our family in February and March? And, talking to our partners at Imagine Zero, they deal with so many people in crisis afterwards because we've got insane credit card debt. We haven't properly budgeted. We have done our family a disservice by overspending. So it's that kind of awareness and connection that not just the race series, but our sponsors and our collaborators can actually give to our community to empower them to be healthier on all levels.
Yeah, and it's hard to focus on your mental, physical, and emotional health all at once. So I think that's something we all could use. Now, Mandy, I don't want to take too much more of your time. Is there anything else you'd like our listeners to know?
Yeah, I think, it's funny. I got asked this in a podcast last week and it was like, I think people don't recognize when they see the magnitude of our events and they see 700 runners and plus their families. So you look at this event and there's 2,000 people there. I think they don't always recognize how small of a team it takes to put it on and how critical our volunteers are. And so just if you have time to volunteer, and you believe in the cause and you believe in what we're doing, please show up and help us. We love the help. And it really is like 2 full-ish time people and, a handful of people that are very, very part-time and project-based on day of. So we love our volunteers and this community has been amazing to support Run Windsor and our efforts. And of course, help us give back. And whether it's signing up or donating directly, I just want people to know that we really do feel like the power of our runners and our sponsors in our community. We think it's huge and we think we can really help this community benefit. And also I'm a yes person. So if anyone listening has an idea or another way we can get involved or make a positive impact, I am always open to those conversations and would love to have coffee with you.
Guys, you heard that. Sign up, donate, or volunteer at the Santa Catch 5K, 10K, and Free Kids Fun Run. All the proceeds are going towards families right here in Northern Colorado that are in need. Along with the race, they're going to have music, food, awards, hot cocoa bar, and free visits with Santa. It sounds like a blast. To sign up, to donate, or to volunteer, you can head to santacatchrace.com. That's santacatchrace.com. Mandy, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashlee. I really appreciate your time today.
Thanks for listening to What Matters in NoCo. I'm Ashlee Meehleis with Townsquare Media's Tuned Into NoCo. If you missed part of the show, you can find it on your Townsquare Media station app or website. If you or your organization would like to be considered for Tuned Into NoCo, send me an email at ashlee.meehleis@townsquaremedia.com. That's ASHLEE.MEEHLEIS@townsquaremedia.com.